Okay, guys, so me and my dad just built the stand. I actually did most of it. He just helped me screw it all together. But I didn't film any of it because it was either I could use my phone to listen to jams or film. So I jammed out instead while I sanded it. And now it's all sanded, I'm going to go paint it. As you can see, it's going to be able to hold, this is actually the back here. This is the back. Over there is the front. It'll be able to hold a 20-gallon or a 30-gallon tank on the bottom and then a 40-gallon tank on top. And I'm going to go make sure it fits in my room and everything and then paint it. Okay, so here's plan. This is what is in the space that I want to try to test out, which is kind of troublesome because they're both fish tanks. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain that one really low. It's just a 10-gallon. I'll pick it up, just like move it over here or basically anywhere. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just a 10-gallon. And set it up temporarily, and then the turtle, I'll probably take a lot of those rocks out because they're gonna be super heavy, but I'll drain it down and then move them somewhere else, and then I'll try the stand in that place. These fish down here, like, I really want them to be in a tank, first of all, that I can observe them in. That's the whole point of quarantine, which I can't really observe them without a light. So they're not really good in a situation, but it's only been a week, so I'm not fully confident in adding them in with everything else. And I know that they were completely alone where they were from, so they're all fine, like they don't have any diseases or anything. But the problem is that Pee-wee, the turtle that is over here in this tank, was being given medicine that went into the water for her shell rot, but I'm going to be treating her a different way. But I still want her to be alone, and that's why she's in the 30-gallon. So I don't really know what to do with these fish. And the goldfish, I want to put them in a tank that I can see them and make sure they're doing well. But the only big tanks that I have big enough to house all these fish are filled with turtles. So I'm in a bit of a predicament there, but I guess I'll just leave them in that 10-gallon, and soon I'll be getting a light to go down there, even though the 10-gallon won't even be set up. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Here's the plan, okay? Here's the plan. I want to be able to put a 55-gallon or a 75-gallon, but I only have a 55-gallon right now, up here because I can fit that in the space, and I could fit that there, and it would be better than having the 30-gallon and the 20-gallon, and I could fit another turtle in here. So what I'm thinking is, I don't know when I'm getting I don't know when the person's taking back this turtle. I just don't know. So what I need to figure out is something that's permanent enough that I can keep him in there and I won't have to worry about him and he'll be doing totally fine. And at the same time, I could take it down in a pinch, like if I needed to. So what I'm going to be doing, and I don't want to make something permanent because then if I get rid of him, or if she takes him back, then I'll have this set up for him that I can't do anything with. So here's my solution. I built the stand, and then the stand can actually hold a 30-gallon tank on top, or a 20-gallon tank, or a 40-gallon tank. That's what I meant, the 30-gallon or the 40-gallon, because of how long it is. So what I'm thinking is we made it really tall. It's actually the same height as that. So what I'm thinking is we put the 40-gallon on top, have the turtle in it. He'll be in a perfect setup that I won't really have to worry about. He's a really small turtle, just him and a 40-gallon, and at some point I'll add these fish in. But that's basically it. So I won't really have to worry about him at all. Then at the bottom, I'm going to get a 2-foot shop light. I'm going to hang it on the top of the bottom, and then I will put the crested gecko down there. So that leaves that tank up there, and this area taken care of. Then if I get rid of the snapping turtle for any reason, I can fit this tank up on top of the 40-gallon stand. I might have to do a few modifications to the stand, but I can fit that on top, so then I could put another turtle there, or I could just leave the 40-gallon up there, and then I would still be able to use that space properly. So what that leaves is this tank right here. Okay, so it's actually a few days later from the last clip or something. So like I was saying, that leaves this tank here, and I'm not exactly sure what the plan is, to be honest. If it comes to it and I need to get a turtle in here and a 55-gallon, again, this is different. I'm already done with most, like, again, it's a while later. but this will be changing as well. If I need to get a 55 gallon here, it becomes winter, what I could do is actually, I'm thinking, put this back onto its original stand and move my Xbox, because I haven't touched that thing for like a few months. Like I literally don't have time to play Xbox, which is fine because video games are basically a waste of my time when I have this many animals to take care of. So, and I mean, it's summertime right now. I have not had time to play it. My plan is I'm going to take that, put that down here, try to figure out something for the crested gecko. But if I need to, then I should be able to put a 55 gallon up here. And hopefully by then I'll have an outside area that I can overwinter some of these turtles. Like obviously not Brandy, but like some of the smaller turtles. So then I won't have to have as much in my room. Now back to way before. Now I'm gonna drain these tanks. Okay, like I said, now I'm just draining down the tanks, and I'll be taking out the rocks out of this 20-gallon tank. And my dad actually came down to help me. Right now I'm outside, so you might hear cars, just because the washer and the dryer are running inside my house, and my room's right beside them. So like I said, I was taking out the rocks and everything and getting all those tanks drained out. Then I am putting the black stand that is now painted for the 40-gallon and trying to situate it and figure out how I'm going to do it. And then immediately I just start to scape it, and you can see my crested gecko in the corner there as well. And this is a paludarium setup, like a riparium type of deal, or a paludarium setup, that's what I meant to say. And it's going to have a bit of a waterfall as well type of deal. And then here I'm putting in the rocks that are from the 20-gallon tank, like the pebbles, that is like the gravel, to finish it off real quick. And now I'm just filling it up, and then it is almost pretty much done. Okay, here's the tank. It's not quite finished. I'll probably add in one last bit where I add in gravel, because as you can see, like here it looks fine, but then here not so much. You can see all the spaces in between the gravel. There just isn't enough, because this is only the amount of gravel. You can really see it down there. You can see all the area where there isn't gravel, and that's just because I'm only using the amount of gravel that I had in the 20-gallon tank. So I didn't film. I put in like botanicals and stuff, some twigs and leaves in the water, and I want it to become kind of tinted. I think it'll make it look cooler. But I'm very excited about this tank, and I definitely think that the snapping turtle will enjoy it. So now I'm going to get him, or her, I'm going to get it and put it in. I had it in some dirt, so it buried itself, so it's all dirty right now. I just have like an extra tub of dirt here. As you can see, it likes to dig in it. So now we will see what it does. So there you can see him back there. I took him and washed him off because he had dirt all over him, and then made sure he's doing all right. And then I just put him in the water. He crawled off my hand into the water. So there he is. He has this huge tank for a tiny. I think he's about 3 inches. His shell length, anyway. 3 something maybe, or 2 something, something around there. He's in here, and I'm hoping that he won't be able to get stuck under any of that stuff, but he should do quite well. And obviously I'll upgrade it as it needs, but I don't think that I will need to do that. And again, the person's supposed to be taking this turtle back at some point, but they're dealing with some stuff right now, so they haven't messaged me, so we'll see. But if that does happen, then I will probably take, like if I do give them back soon, then I'll take this tank right here and I'll put it in this place so this area isn't wasted. And since this tank only holds 20 gallons, this one holds 30, so it'd be better and easier to use for a turtle, because obviously this is a pretty small turtle, but most of the turtles that I take in are like 5-8 inches long, shell wise. So if I put a 30-gallon there, then I might be able to use it for something that I take in, and then I will have that tank down here, a 55-gallon up there, and that's just the plan. Hey guys, I'm not sure what video I'm going to throw this into, but I have these two lights here. One's an 18-inch, the other one's a 30-inch. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be screwing through the top, and then screwing them, or through the side, and then screwing them into wood. So this one, the 30-inch will be going on the bottom of the stand, and then the 18-inch will be going over there. I'm going to time-lapse while I do that, and I'm not going to time-lapse while I'm going to do that one, because I figure it's going to be kind of messy, considering it is always hard for me to get under there and do stuff, but I'll be filming this one. And I'm not sure what video I'll throw this in, but I'll find one. So I just ended up throwing it into this video because this is the same video where I made the stand. And then I just went ahead and put the Crested Geckos enclosure. Okay, so I forgot to plug that one light in to the power strip back there that's connected to the timer. So I just turned off the lights, or the lights just turned off, and this one was just on, and it kind of, like, it looks cooler in person because there's not as much like a glare, but it gives this really cool like eerie effect that like only a little bit of the light is on. I just thought it was pretty cool. I'll switch it, but as you can see, the lights are there now. Okay guys, so here's the snapping turtle enclosure, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those fish in. Now I wanted to wait like a couple, maybe like 2 more weeks, something like that, and add them in maybe right before I left for Arizona. But I don't really see any reason why not to now. I don't think the snapping turtle will be able to get to any of them because they love to hide and they're really quick. But I think that it's not as important that they are properly quarantined, since this polyudarium doesn't have any other fish in it. So it's just the snapping turtle. And again, the reason that I didn't think that was important is because these guys were in with the turtle, but I've had them for like a week or 2 now. None have died. They all seem to be doing well and eating, so I'm gonna add them into here because I really need to take down this tank as well, because as you can see, I cleared out an area and then I had to fill it again, so that's pretty annoying. But I will be netting them out and putting them in here now. Hey guys, so it's been a few days now since I've had this set up, and it's been doing pretty well. The water seems to be becoming like tannin-y, which is fine, like filled with tannins, and that's totally fine. I kind of like the look of it, and I think the water needs to be a little bit more disrupted. Like, I don't think the filter is putting out enough flow. Like, the water is definitely moving, but I think it's still getting a little bit stagnant. So I might have to figure out something. Maybe put a sponge filter in here or something. But now I can add in those rocks. So first I'm going to take a little bit of water out, and then I will add them in. But real quick, I wanted to show you this down here. I have these lights installed now as well. And then I got more lights for this turtle. And I have some more lights over there that I got. So I can set up turtles properly. Like, he has UVB and heat. She has UVB and heat. These guys right now just have heat because the UVB light's coming on Wednesday for that fixture. Right there, the 18-inch aquarium light will have UVB. So I went and got more gravel to add in. So I took him out because I didn't want to bury him or anything, because he actually blends in quite well with the gravel. And now I am sucking all the water out, like doing a water change, because the gravel that I added in happened to be still a little bit covered in mud and stuff, so that wasn't the best thing. Okay, so the light has turned off because it's just that time of day, but as you can see, I think it looks really cool. and all the rocks are in now, so you can't really see through them. I got some kind of smaller rocks to really fill in everything. And then you can see the turtle right down there, if you can. It's kind of hard. The water's still a little bit murky, but he's back there. And like I said, I might have to figure out something for more flow, which is pretty annoying, but I think I'll be able to come up with something that doesn't really change the look of everything too much, which is what I'm afraid of doing. And who knows, I might just go ahead and completely change out, like I have another filter that might fit back there, and who knows, I might put that back there instead of this one. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got inspiration from this, what I'd say is a pretty cool tank build. This is a 40-gallon turtle tank with a snapping turtle in it and plants. And there's also tons of minnows in here, which I do not believe he's been eating. Like, I haven't seen him eat any. That doesn't mean he hasn't, but I'm going to think that he hasn't because they're really quick. So they're just all in the rocks and stuff back there. Like, I promise there's a bunch. They'll come out when it's darker, like when I turn out the lights, but you just really don't see them during the day, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace. Real quick, I'm adding, I changed the filter. I was going to change it out for a different filter, but I just kept the same one and just raised it and then put it so then it would go down some rocks